Team Nigma now, Peter?
I like it. Their draft looks super fast.
All right, and it is the Mind Control Luna. Whoa.
I called it.
You did call it. All right, well.
Did you?
we'll go to this one.
The Puppy Weaver you called. You called the Puppy Weaver.
Yep. Gods, what are we getting? Who's winning?
I have no idea. There's some weird-ass heroes in this game.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Nigma just because I don't believe in 5-position Weaver.
All right, well, it is a 5-position Weaver, as you heard. It is an off-lane Luna as well. So even though the drafts, they were looking a little bit similar, these last heroes have definitely switched it up. Who is going to take game number 1? Will it be Team Secret? Will it be Team Nigma? All I know is it's going to be hyping to bring you that action. It's Dakota and Cap.
Grant, good morning. It was a pleasure to be here for Secret versus Enigma. I'm here with Capitalist.
Let me just say, Dakota, I'm so excited for this series right now. I think it's going to be super hype.
Man, these picks are ridiculous, Capitalist. The last pick, Luna, and it turns out to be Mind Control's off-lane pickup. We're in for a Puppy Weaver. Because in the first 4 picks from Enigma's side, you know, as Grant put it, it's like we got a good thing going. Why mix it up? You know, the tree, the wisp, the tiny, that's all good and fun. But was there a reason that they're like, we need Luna? It's our last pick, and it's certainly going off lane.
Okay, a couple things. Because they have Chain Protector, they can run a ranged offlaner. Okay. I think that is the first step, because presumably they're going to have the IO tied up with the tiny, so they could run a ranged offlaner. They also, I think they wanted some sort of auras. So they couldn't get their Beastmaster, which was providing the attack speed aura, which is super good for the silencer. Instead, they're getting this Luna, which does provide the damage and armor aura. That is what she provides. Also additional nighttime vision. That's also tied into this spell.
Yeah.
Not as value, but still really strong for a hero like Tiny, who has a very high base damage, right?
Yeah.
Like when he's hitting when he amps up and he gets his level 3 grow or whatever, and you add on like 30% to when he's hitting for 250 or I actually don't know how much he hits for, but it's a lot, right? Then that damage percentage is going to be quite impactful.
It certainly feels like it's just that they had some checkboxes and Luna fit the bill better, because it's like if you were just hoping to get some aura replacement, maybe like a Vengeful Spirit could have worked out, plus you have a stun kicker, but maybe they were like, we need more team fight, we want more to dump in to these team fights. So
and that was the additional point afterwards, is that Luna is a very good team fighter, and people have been experimenting with Luna. I don't know if Mind Control's going to go this route. I'm imagining he's going to go Helmet Dominator and have the double stack of auras, but he could go the route where you're more of a magic damage dealing Luna, because I believe at level 15 you get the minus 3.5 second cooldown on Lucent Beam.
Ooh.
And you can also go the cast range at level 10. So it allows you to be able to spam out your Lucent Beam quite a bit, and it's really annoying to play against.
Obviously helpful. You're going against Enigma, who is trying to set up some clutch team fight. You're going against just scary backliners, plus you got Weaver running around in front, Lucent Beam, and Teamfight Chaos. Sounds like a good recipe for Enigma side. I guess I didn't ask because we are to pause. It looks like we may give it a go, and we are going to get underway and into the action here. I didn't just straight up ask who you favor in this based on draft alone.
I don't think the panel was too far off. I do think that Secret their lineup is a bit slow. And we saw how the timing that Nigma reached with this lineup, they were so strong. At like 20, 25 minutes. The silencer was really deadly with this IO. It helps that he's got 2 frontliners in both the tree and the tiny. They're able to just demolish buildings, and then silencer just demolishes heroes if you can't get on top of them. Now, Secret do have some ways to get on top of them, but they're very slow in that regard, right? Like, you won't see a very quick Blink Dagger from Beastmaster if he goes his normal, like, Necronomicon, Helmet Dominator route.
Yeah.
Same goes with Earthshaker, especially if they're not getting any towers, which Train Protector is supposed to be able to do for you. If you can actually limit the amount of towers that Secret takes and then simultaneously take away their map control, take away their towers, then where's Earthshaker farm, right? And then, you know, like, on top of that, Enigma, not really going to be helpful until Blink and BKB. He's not going to make that really big difference in team fights. And then the Weaver Axe. All of these, I feel like every single one of these heroes needs, like, at least 5,000 net worth before they're really a hero and are useful in these fights. And I could see Nigma abusing that timing.
I like it. Secret, they need a lot of resources and need to pull together a lot before their team reaches that pinnacle prime, or, you know, our favorite phrase, the power peak, if you will. While on the other side, Nigma can kind of more run and gun style take it to Secret and try to prevent them from even reaching that big moment. So as the lanes begin to come together now, here it is. The old Mind Control Luna lane is one that I'm going to be peeking my eye at quite a bit. Luna, obviously, a ranged hero, but a short-range hero, a little nubby ranged hero. Has to still get quite close to the action, but you got Kuro by your side, and as long as he's able to kind of stay close to the trees, he can get out some significant damage. He's going to drop, of course, that pesky Nature's Graph. And I've been playing this hero quite a bit, man. That Q is just, the slow is so much more intense than you think. Once you start walking through the sap, man, it's something else.
Yeah. And I think the Weaver support, I've been playing a lot of that with the early Blightstone. You feel really good as a harassment hero. There are a lot of poor 5 positions that you match up really well against. That you wouldn't expect, like Coddle. You just destroy Coddle as a Weaver,
yeah.
even though he has Blinding Light because the stats are so weak. I think in this situation, it's going to be a lot harder for him because Train Protector, far from being a weak stat hero. My man's hitting for 93 damage a hit.
Yeah. He does only have the 1 armor, but once he starts getting, you know, living armor together, he can prevent any sort of heavy harassment. Though you would be liking to use that, that armor on your allies, but oh my goodness.
Is this our first blood?
Is Miracle really about to get first blooded by Zai here? By a little bit of an overzealous play. He is behind enemy lines. Zai chasing him down, looking to go for the punch. He's now brought the creep wave to him.
And the Fisher to finish him off.
The tip to start it off, though. I love it.
Damn. Zai's level 3 with first blood. Okay. I think this changes. Like, I legitimately think this, like, just gave Secret another, like, 5% chance at victory. That was such a big bump because he's had now a very successful lane. And he's going to get a very fast Blink Dagger, and that Blink Dagger is going to be a killer for both Mind Control and IO, maybe even the Silencer. Like, you've got some pretty squishy heroes that if you get a fast Blink, you can blow them up and stall their item timings.
Man, I wasn't scouting that lane before the dive was coming through from Miracle. GH was not there. I wonder if he was caught off doing a pull on the side, and the timing wasn't right, but GH was not with Miracle on that one, trying to commit hard with the tether and the extra bit of regen to try to follow through.
What I believe what happened is Enigma was pulling the lane back by denying all these creeps. The lane pushed into the tower, and Zai got a Fisher block that kept Miracle inside of tower range, and that's why he ended up in that sticky situation where he went down and through the trees.
Oh, extra props to Zai to get that one set up. Mid
lane is hard.
Yeah.
It is a hard lane. It's a melee matchup against a Silencer. And usually your biggest bonus as a Beastmaster is you've got these boars, but ranged cores deal with boars really well in the first 2 levels because they're so weak. They're just little piggy banks of gold at that point in time. So this lane is going to be very difficult, but we have seen Beastmasters. All they need is levels in this mid lane, and you just start amping up. You just start clearing through jungle creeps so efficiently.
Yeah, Nisha in the meantime is going to have the salve ferried out his way to kind of, sustain and recover so he can get the XP like you're talking about to at least have the tools necessary to make the lane a bit easier for him. As, can he really anticipate any extra pressure coming his way? It's not like Nigma are really supporting those traditional roaming kind of supports. So as long as he just kind of keeps himself from out the, firing range that Weeha's able to dish, then he should be able to recover and get back into action. So, if the call's been made by the panel and by yourself that Nigma need to kind of play this one more fast tempo and into Secret, what are they looking out for to start making that call to action? Is it, getting a certain hero to level 6, like Mind Control's Luna and having that ultimate team fight? Is it having the first global silence?
So I think Kuro's positioning is going to be really key in this game. Because he's going to be slowing down a lot of these side lane pushes where Secret don't feel strong enough to team fight just yet. And he also has the best disable for allowing a relocate to come in. If you look at it, your other two cores don't do that. And that is something that I really don't like about this Luna. Big difference between her and the Beastmaster, right? Roar is one of the best setups for a relocate. Lucent Beam is one of the worst. It's a small little mini stud. So I think Kuro is going to have to make up for that because he is the only long-term disable that they have. So he can stop the split pushes, maybe catch a hero or two with the overgrowth. They relocate in with this tiny, and they have the global presence of the global silence as well, right? So that combination is like a guaranteed team fight win. You overgrow somebody and you relocate and pop global silence, there's no way they can get out, right? They're 100% losing that fight.
For sure. And you're absolutely right. Kuro seems to be the best one to kind of set things up if they want to make those aggressive type of relocate plays. And I would say, like, it's a treat early on, getting the XP. How's he going to be able to do? But currently level 3 at just about 3 minutes in, beating out Puppy on the other side. He's got the means to be able to build the XP, just has to kind of keep that going a bit. And then he'll be able to kind of match his team and being able to make the plays happen. Tree moving around the map is questionable in its own. He seems very slow, and it's hard for him to kind of get to his team where necessary, but anxious to see Kuro make it happen here as we are back and underway. GH and Miracle reconnected in arms on this top lane, and Yapzor is going to take the moment to step off and jungle, leaving Zai some solo XP and farm time, because he's already pushed up to level 4 now. And, he's coasting off of that early first blood.
Yeah, lanes are going pretty well. This Spectre hasn't been threatened nearly as much as I kind of expected. You check out his net worth, he's 3rd right now. Considering the very abusive lane that he's in, I thought he would have to blow up a lot more on regen, but he still even has a healing salve in his back pocket, so this lane is kind of going, it's going fine. I expected it to be a bit more a disaster. Zai's lane obviously went above and beyond by being able to get first blood, so that's going well. And then we already said Nisha at some point in time can just clear through jungle camps faster than you can actually lane. It would help if he could lane in addition to it, but it's still fine. So I actually am, the more I'm watching this laning phase, even though Nigma is winning, I feel like they're not winning hard enough in a way. It is very concerning because once Secret do come online with some of their items like the Blink Dagger, Nigma is the Blink Dagger on Earthshaker. Nigma, they're very easy for them to lose a fight off of just one good initiation.
Yep. Certainly agree with that, and Secret have that scaling type of lineup, with the Spectre after all, that if the other 4-man is going to be able to get a lot with that blink and all that attention, then things only bode better for Secret down the road as they're able to kind of build off the back of that mid game.
So I just did one of my favorite things. At 4:30, you go behind the tower and pull the wave. And it can block the easy camp, and then you also just pull it directly into the bounty room. Right? So It's just a nice combination of events that secures a lot of gold for you.
Yeah, Zai now gets that tower to assist in taking down that wave. And we see that full rotation over as bounties did just conclude. Kuro has to head back deep, but he's being constantly watched over by that Beastmaster Hawk. Nisha already kind of putting in the work, getting that little bit extra intel for the team. While Nigma do have that opposing ward on the mid lane side. They'll see any of those early rotations. We do have Nisha with his level 6 now. And the stun at the ready if he so chooses. A little bit of trading here at the top as a battle over the side camp pull. As Yapzor returns to the lane at level 3 on his
they want to
Nigma.
fight this. Weaver's coming up here.
They're committing hard, and like you said, here comes Puppy, making it now a 3-on-2, putting their focus onto Miracle here. As he just scoots himself back towards the tower, GH will join him by side again.
I think they thought that Zai was going to be able to pick up level 6 off that neutral camp and pop his Echo Slam. It would have been a nice surprise move, right?
Right.
You can never tell exactly when they're going to hit that level 6, but if it happens in the middle of that fight, right, and he hits an Echo Slam and then Weaver's a little bit closer, then they easily could have killed that carry. I'm watching, one thing that didn't occur to me, there is not a good way for Nigma to really be able to stop all this jungling that's happening, right? They don't have a good roaming 4 position
No,
or anything
they don't.
like that.
Not at all. Global's going to be committed top lane after Weehaw picks up a regen rune at the top of the river. He takes his momentum to the top of the jungle, and they're able to find the catch and take out Puppey. But now comes Matama Man dishing out the first ultimate, able to clean out Weehaw, comes by the side of his team, and they're able to truck on forward and take a twofer and finishing off Miracle's Tiny.
I think this lineup from Nigma has a very delicate balance, and so every single one of these small victories I'm seeing from Secret, though that last one was, you could probably describe, a little bit bigger than just small.
Yeah.
These victories, man, they changed the game plan, I think, quite significantly. Nigma still has this really good timing that we've seen with the Silencer, Tiny IO. This trio is incredibly strong at 20 minutes, but you know, they're not getting the pressure out of the lanes that is going to allow them to take towers early. I don't think they're inhibiting any of like the item timings from Secret either.
GH in trouble top lane. He was just getting stalked by Zai and the dominated creep and had nowhere to go off to. They eventually pincer in on the little wisp and pop the ball. But you're certainly right. Without that kind of rotating lane pressure and there's no way to stop Secret from just kind of bulking up through the jungle, Nigma are going to rely more on these relocate surprise attacks to try to catch Secret off guard, prevent them from farming up, prevent them from playing the economy game.
Yeah, I said one of their win conditions was being able to take towers with simultaneously preventing Secret from doing the same. Secret took the first tower in this game. That is very bad for Nigma, I think.
Call to action for Nigma bottom lane. They want to try to get a tower of their own, maybe a kill to boot as they swarm to this southern side. A 3-on-1 chase for Puppey's Weaver, but dang, that 5-position Weaver is elusive. They finally catch him with Lucent Beam.
No mana, so I think if they continue to chase with Mind Control... Oh, he actually had enough thanks to
now
the
it's just
stick.
space. Space for top lane. Space for mid.
Weaver support is incredible at space creating, and it's actually better at farming than you would expect, thanks to the Swarm being a really good way to farm neutrals or even full waves of creeps. So you could see Weaver at some point in time start doing some things like creep cutting or farming aggressively in taking away some of the enemy jungle, just because like if you run into him, it's not that big of a deal because he's the most elusive hero in the game.
GH joins Miracle in the mid lane now as they continue to try to get this Wisp maybe closer to level 6, get more killing power onto their Miracle Tiny because he's going to have to show up and start dishing out the offense for their team. But we could see Puppey around the corner still stalking him out. He was able to plant a little bit of deep ward vision as well as the commitment to this bottom lane continues here. Still trying to
They know
siege away
Zai's
this tier
alone.
1.
They have a ward behind the tower, and yet they're still a little bit scared of diving him. And Zai, very clearly, I mean, Zai has been an incredible baiter for Secret in the last 3 months. And sure enough,
Yep, here we go. Puppey sweeping in from behind. Zai steps forward with the fissure, and suddenly Nisha shows up from the jungle front with friends in arms and hits him home with the battle roar. Mind Control looked to be Ness as they just chop him down within the trees, and Secret just on the full assault. Suddenly, it is 6-1 with a 3K net worth advantage, just like that, Cap, and they're about to take their second tier 1 of the game.
Nigma's going to have to take some incredible team fights here at around 15 minutes when they finally start coming online with some of their heroes and some of their items, because I'm looking at this and I'm watching this Beastmaster like farm ancient camps really quickly. I see this like this Spectre who is being a part of kills hasn't been slowed down one bit, it feels like. Second in net worth right now.
No, look at this. They're still on the offensive. Weehaw makes the return to the bottom lane, but Secret were sterile in the neighborhood. Miracle comes, but it might be too late. He's been blocked in from the fissure, and now a black hole. They are hemorrhaging kills at this point from Enigma as they lose 3 more, and somehow YapzOr pockets all 3. Are they seriously about to get a 4th? Are they going to disrespect this captain right in his own front door? They will. They take him down 2. 4 fall from Enigma's side on the back of already a successful fight from Secret. It's 10-1 now from 6-1.
It's so cool that like Nigma has only shown this strategy once before, right? Throughout the rest of ESL 1, they didn't touch this same combination, only the game that we witnessed. And Secret just dismantling it with ease, it looks like. They like Nisha didn't panic whatsoever. Terrible lane. He's level 4 jungling. No big deal. Spectre somehow put up with a bottom lane pressure really well. Puppey was very distracting, I think, and integral in creating the space for that Spectre.
it's clear that Secret came in knowing who they're playing against. It's Enigma. So if you're not banning Wisp, you're expecting a Wisp-type lineup, and I would imagine that they have drafted preparing for that. Maybe a bit more greedy, scaling a bit more, avoiding fights that are not necessary, and farm where you know it's safe. Especially if they're going to be pairing this Wisp and Tree again, you know the lack of offense that's going to be there in the early to mid game. But now it's supposed to be their time. But the problem is the Secret are just so damn big, and they seem to be this buddy system at this point too, where they've come together.
Yeah.
Because this is it. They know that if Enigma want to take picks, this would be it. They're looking for solo people who are just rummaging on their own that they can relocate in and pick off, but Secret are not giving them anything. A jump now for Weehaw. And they are going to commit in the Eclipse, but the Global is there to follow, and that is still not going to be nearly enough. Nobody is falling from Secret's side as they crush them down. GH, he latches on the Curl like, please, save me! And he gets hit by that last little ranged attack and dies right in front of his brother. Oh.
I mean, it's simply not possible to get a good Eclipse in this game. You know, this Luna was maybe already a bit questionable to the start, but you could see maybe some reasons why. But just looking at the fact that Enigma has Eidolons and win a Necrobook, Beastmaster has his Helmet Dom plus his Boars that he's bringing into these fights. There's going to be a Spectre who creates additional units with Haunt. Your teamfight presence as a Luna, you know, we said that was one of the things that she brought to the table. Well, it's completely out the window against a lineup like this.
Check the replay again of that action before as Nigma approached the high ground like, we got ultimates, this is our time, gentlemen. But Secret know that they're looking out for Eclipses, they're looking out for relocates, they're looking out from Enigma movement, and they are together in arms ready for the defense, ready to hold that wall. And
I love Zai's bots too, like what the hell? He just, like I'm watching him just like run down heroes.
This is a man who's been given all the wealth in the world, and he decided, I'm going to buy a new pair of shoes, you know that?
All right, well, Nigma, they they wanted to try out, I think, this strategy that they came up with against a tougher opponent and a slightly weaker lineup. I would say Beastmaster for Luna is a pretty significant difference. But between that and facing up against a much tougher opponent, this strategy does not look the same. It definitely feels like it just perches on like the edge of a knife, right? Where it's just like it can get to a point where it's super strong.
Enigma finally finished out that bottom tier 1 tower, and they keep pushing through, and that's where Zai's waiting in the wings. He suddenly shows himself, drops the dunk onto Weehaw, and now they're going to follow through with additional kills here. Kuro steps in, drops the ulti, but it's just too late to assist in bailing out Mind Control. He will go down. Kuro seems to be next. They even relocated in GH and Miracle for this one to try to help them out. But again, it looks like they could have more casualties. Nice little relocate out with the timing, but look who's waiting mid lane. It's Nisha. See you later. Pops them down. Zai's got the boots of travel. He comes, he says, no one's making it away. What are you thinking about? You witnessed that whole thing. We got to take you down too. And they do so. A global comes out from Weehaw at the end of it, but I don't know, Cap. Nigma might just be throwing this one over at this point. They are fighting it out, though. Mind Control's got his ultimate back up and is trying to take it to Nisha. Nisha squaring up with everything he's got. Finally will go down. Puppy swings in from behind. And, well, here comes Matama, man. He'll clean out Kuro. And
they're so low level that their death timers are super short, and they're bringing like 8 heroes to a single fight. They only can get like 2 kills. It's just, I mean, I think in total, like over 5 heroes die in that fight from Nigma for sure.
I mean, for maybe 2 secret heroes, right? Yeah.
That was it. And it was also every single one of their ultimates. They used Relocate, Overgrowth, Global Silence, and Eclipse. So they threw everything they had.
And still lost. I mean,
wait, are we sure this is the same team? Secret's the same team that lost to Unique, right? And then Nigma's the same team that went undefeated so far on the group stage. These are the same teams we're talking about, right? Because that's not what it looks like on screen.
That's clearly what you got to do against Secret, because you know Nigma are bringing something that we have seen from them already in this tournament. When Secret went against Unique, they were pulling out like Bristleback, they were pulling out Earth Spear, they're pulling out stuff that Secret had not seen in a while. You got to really mix things up on the Secret, I would appear, because this is a team that is doing their homework.
They certainly are. And at some point in time, we're going to have an Aghanim Scepter on Weaver. He's about halfway there now. And any of this damage that you're seeing from like the Tiny combination or you know, this Eclipse that is going out, that is going to be easily rectified, and they're going to find themselves getting no kills instead of the 2 they got last time.
Watch out the back end of that killing spree coming out from
All right,
Secret's
they're making
side.
their play bottom.
Yeah, they
Time
got
to
the,
shut down Weaver.
They got the outpost, and now they're looking to work in for a tier 2. Now Secret had already taken Roche. They have an Aegis. They've taken the top tier 2. They're already pushing inside the base.
Look how unafraid Matubba Man was. He was taking shots in the tier 3 tower.
Mostly alone. You know, when you should be fearful of like a relocate kind of approach coming in from Enigma, he seems to have no fears at all.
AoE heals are really good at being able to offset the damage of early Eclipse. So we already said, hey, all these summons, they're going to be a problem. Well, now we've got Guardian Greaves on the Enigma, so yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's waiting on Black Hole, and then Secret.
Whoa, are you seeing these odds? That's a bargain right there. Somebody needs to dump their money on Secret, because 1.01 is a bargain as far as I'm concerned when you've got an 18,000 net worth lead, 24-3.
Damn.
I'd be down to drop a grand on that in order to get $10 back.
I would love if Nigma came back and we clipped that as like a Curb Your Enthusiasm moment. You're like, I legit dropped the money. Here, Secret, though, looking for closure and seeing how their high ground siege potential is going to go. He just casually run down Weehaw and take him out of the fight. You know, that's a global taken off the table, unless he wants to force out a buyback in 25 seconds' time. You know, ultimately, Enigma may know the horizon of this game and could be, you know, just playing it out in discussion of what's going on for game number 2. But my God, Secret have opened up a can of whoop ass in game number 1.
Yeah. Dai is eventually going to get Miracle killed here. They're just preventing him from TP back to base.
Dunk on him. The global does come out.
Okay, the turn.
Oh.
He already blew his combination. It wasn't enough to kill the Earthshaker.
Now
no.
Matubba Man shows up.
3,
Stun.
2, 1. Get him out! Yeah, they made it.
Made it back to mid lane, and they're like, wait, what's going on here? We lost our tier 3. Yes, you did.
There's only 2 heroes here, so surely they can get a kill.
Ooh, the Greaves. Nisha walks out the other direction.
Couldn't get a kill. It was Kuro that died instead. They had 5 heroes in that mid lane against the 2 of Yapsor plus Nisha, and they still couldn't get a kill. And step back, somebody died. This is just... I would not want to be in this fight anymore. Aghanim Scepter for Zai. He says, screw a blink.
Test of morale it's going to be for Enigma as they take the approach to game 2, because game number 1 is real rough here.
I mean, I feel like this is such an experimental strategy that they're running. Like, this might be something they've run once before in a scrim, and then we've seen it once before in official. So this might be like their 3rd game of this, you know? So I think in some ways they're like, okay, boys, we won 2 games in a row with this, but this is obviously not as good as we thought it was, and that's okay. You know, you tried. Secret may have seen it before, but they haven't played against it before. It's all theory crafting, most likely, at this point in time.
Just group stage.
Seems like Secret did theory craft it pretty well, though.
Yeah, you know, now time to pull out the next card. Is Zygo's leaping in. He's like, I got an Aghanim Scepter. I don't need no blink. Whoop, boom! Jumps in a second time, smacks him down. Mind control falls as
How
they
you doing?
Clean out the Roche camp again. You know, Secret just keeping the fight on the other side of the river where possible.
Zai! Run!
Okay, can Zai's team show up, or are they gonna take another loss? The 4th kill going to Enigma at this point. Now they quickly try to bail out. Weehaw is gonna be able to make it away.
See you later, nerds.
And Nigma by maybe a little bit of time with the Earthshaker being on the sidelines. But we're getting close to Puppy having an Aghanim Scepter, so even where Enigma was barely able to scrap together kills, it will become that much harder once your 5-position Weaver has that kind of save.
If I were to like seriously evaluate Nigma, I do think that Tiny, this core Tiny does get really strong, and so do all their cores. I just feel like Spectre is too big of a late game carry. It just works so well against a squishy cores like Silencer and Luna, where Dispersion bounces damage back. That being said, Dispersion is based off of proximity. It does less damage the farther away the heroes are, so that does play to the Silencer's strength at least.
But, you know, here we have Nigma. I believe they just tried a 5-man like smoke out movement, but Puppey was around on that pesky Weaver, spotted it, quickly time-lapsed away. And now Nigma are back holding hands inside their own base, just going from lane to lane, trying to alleviate a bit of the pressure here, but obviously losing in the farming game quite dramatically as Secret just go from land to land, taking all the resources here away. But here's an approach from Nigma now. The Haunt comes out. The jig is up. The Global is following, but Kuro's already been chopped down by Matama Man, and now the chase is on. They're looking to go mind control. Oh my gosh, trying to make it away. The toss there. And they finally catch him with the Malphus and the Centaur, and he's just down and out. No buyback for mind control here for 30 seconds. This could be the beginning of the end as Secret go in for the winning knockout. And there it comes from Zai, the Echo Slam, the finish onto Wii. Wii's going to be forced to buy back, though he doesn't have a global. Not too sure what he and GH alone could bring to the table. But hey, Kuro's back.
Weehaw has yet to get his first item, by the way. He's still working on that Force Staff, which is a poor reactive measure to Spectre with Diffusal Blade.
Yeah.
It works a little bit, but not that well.
The black hole is there and cleans them out. And finally, the towel is going to be thrown in. It is Secret who show that they have eaten their Wheaties today.
Nisha with the, whoa, how close was that? The answer to that question, not very. It wasn't close.